Hi, this is part 2 of the diagnostic from isolation problem on the zero. I'm Dr. Bass and I will try to diagnose that with you and give you some insight about some spot to test and give you an idea of where could be the problem, because on the part 1 of the video I was a little bit confused because I got different results, and also I forgot to reconnect the ground here, which grounds the battery to the chassis. That might be why I got different problem here. So you see here, I discovered something really interesting. What I will test now is the insulation between the controller, the motor controller, which is the 775 amp on the SR. So I will check the insulation between the chassis, ground, and every connections here. The controller is completely disconnected, as well as the main multi-pin connector, the 35-pin connector, and all 5 power and motor lead connections. So let's begin with M1 connection and look at the, I will select the resistance. Okay, so M1, I have 294 kilo ohms, which is very high. This is normal. I will test M2. And guess what, guys? I have 5 ohm insulation between the ground, which is the base plate of the controller, which is fixed on the chassis. So I have 5 ohm only. This is way less than the first measurement, and this is not normal. And then on the M3, I have about the same result as M1, which is about 300 kilo ohm. And then I will test between the negative battery. Between the negative, I have, and the chassis, I have 143 kilo ohm, and the positive input, I have 2.4 mega ohm. This might be just a little bit different because there might be some voltage on the between the battery minus and battery positive. But what must catch your attention is the 5 ohm I have here, which is not normal. And then I will check between the motor itself and the chassis. So the motor M3 connection, I have infinite ohm, so this is good. And the resistance between the M1, M2 and M3 connections from the motor is very low because it's a low resistance winding. So even if I checked M2 connection and M3 or M1, it should be exactly the same, which is infinite. Yeah, so that gives you an idea about the power connections. Now I will check between the main bike board and the rest of the low power circuitry. I have infinite ohm between this connection and the chassis. So my guess is that it's about M2 here, which I have 5 ohm, which is not normal. So the controller appears to be defective, because nothing is connected to it except it's fixed on the chassis. So I think I found the problem, and I hope you appreciate it, and even if you meet that kind of problem, you'll have an idea. Thanks for watching.